Yes, you know what? The best pass. I mean, he's made some really nice passes, but I think it was a Monday night game pass to Goddard between two guys. Goddard actually drops the ball, but I didn't see that from Jalen Hurts a year ago. I didn't see that kind of accuracy.
I can't wait to talk to my boy here, man. 3-0. Holy cow. Philly 500 steps in with us. All right, homie. How you feeling?
Hey, yo, Sills.
Yo.
He's starting to look like a franchise quarterback, my man. He's starting to look like a franchise quarterback. Last time I spoke to you.
46-1, Philly.
I don't care if it's 50.2. He's looking like it, man. Listen, last time I talked to you was right before the Minnesota game. You didn't have any confidence in that team going into that game, but they beat the crap out of them. And people could say what they want. I mean, Minnesota's probably at least a playoff team.
Yes.
And then they, to me, they went and they took care of a division opponent, or coming off a Monday night game on the road. And as of right now, what I've seen of Jalen Hurts, I think you got to give it to him if he can stay consistent the rest of the year.
I want to throw this at you, and I had Rob Ellis on with me early, and I want to see if you're seeing the same thing I am.
Okay.
He's doing. If you take these three games that he played, Philly, the Detroit game, Minnesota game, and Washington game have been completely different attacks. And that makes it so much more to prepare for on what and who you're seeing. He had to run for his life because the O-line didn't pass protect that well. Got the job done. Against Minnesota, he was flawless throwing the ball. Hell, against the Commanders, he barely ran, and he was controlling. His pocket presence and field presence have been the most impressive thing, along with the accuracy, have been the most impressive thing so far that we've seen in this early season. Is that fair?
I totally 100% agree. Yes. You know what? The best pass, I mean, he's made some really nice passes, but I think it was a Monday night game pass to Goddard between two guys. Goddard actually drops the ball, but I didn't see that from Jalen Hurts a year ago. I didn't see that kind of accuracy. So he has definitely taken a giant step early on. Now I still think he's got to be consistent. 3 weeks or just 3 weeks, but I've liked what I've seen so far.
When will we know?
I mean, if he stays, I'll say week 8, week 9. Week 8, week 9, I think we know.
Coming out of the bye. How about this? Let me say this to you. How important is the Dallas game and the Packer game this season to him, and how we're going to look at him and how we're going to perceive him? Because I'm going to make a point to you here, Philly. When I look at Dak Prescott and I look at Kirk Cousins, what's the difference?
They're both losers. I mean, you look at both of them. They don't win big games. Dak's in his 7th year. He's only won one playoff game. If Jalen Hurts was 7 years in and won one playoff game, we'd be killing him.
So I think it's more about the wins and what he does and who he beats. Don't you agree? He's got to beat teams that are contenders and that are considered teams in the NFC. And I think the road for the Eagles this year with some of these NFC teams, dude, I don't fear the Rams. I do not fear the Rams this year.
No, I think right now the Eagles could play with the Bucs, the Rams, and the Packers. I believe they can play with all three. Now, here's the issue, and we're going to have this all year. Who do they play? They don't play anybody until they play Green Bay. I mean, who do they really play? So every week is going to be like, well, who did he beat? Who did he beat? And that's going to what we're here all year long until the playoffs.
But you know what? You said something a couple weeks ago when you came on. The person and the people that they're going to have to fear the most of themselves. Injury.
Yeah. Right.
War of attrition. I said this to you. They have the deepest roster, but guess what, Philly? By the end of the season, they may have the best roster because the war of attrition is going to play its factor. Look at all the teams Bucks banged up, Rams banged up. That Allen Robinson kid, he sucks in Los Angeles.
I know.
I mean, he's blowing out loud. He's terrible. The Packers are still trying to figure it out with Mr. Pothead up there on what they're trying to do when it comes to their wide receivers. Look at all the issues that you're looking around the room here. The 49ers, they can't figure out the quarterback position. They've been trying to kick Garoppolo out for the last 4 years. Everything's lining up like 17, isn't it? Remember, hey, was the NFC Championship that game Nick Foles and Case Keenum?
Yeah. In Philly. That's right. Yeah, it's crazy. That was a crazy year. This team, if it has the 2017 feel right now, I think this team's actually more talented, player per player. I actually think they're more talented than at 2017 team.
I want to give you something else here. Currently, right now, here's what Howie Roseman has done. He's sitting in the 7th hole for the 2023 NFL draft currently right now with that New Orleans pick. And if that thing continues to go south more, Philly, you may have a top 5 pick in an NFC championship in the same year. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I think that would be amazing. And I think karma owes us. Last year we had the Miami Dolphins first round pick, and they were 1-7, Sills. They were 1-7 and won like 8 in a row. I mean, how horrible is that? But I think the Saints with Jameis Winston, they say he has like 4 fractures in his back. They're going to shut him down eventually. They will. And I think that's at least a top 10 pick. I feel really good about that. I think they play Minnesota this week in London. So I don't think they're going to win that game either. That's a team that should really be 0-3. And if we get top 5 pick, Will Anderson, let's get him.
No doubt.
That would be amazing, yo. I will smoke so many cigars it ain't even funny. I'll get cancer.
All right, Doug's coming to town. Your feelings on Doug coming to town?
Doug deserves a standing ovation. I have no issues with Doug Pederson. I don't think they should have, I was against them firing him at the time. He brought us the Super Bowl. It's not like Carson where he requested a trade and quit on the team. I think Doug deserves a standing ovation and respect. Give him a standing ovation before the game starts and then go kill his team. That's how I see it.
You know what, Philly? I said something to a Cowboy fan. I go, do you know what the debate is right now in Philly to show you how these people think? It's whether or not to give the guy a standing ovation because he delivered that's how hard it is in that city to get any kind of – see, I don't think that's like I don't think that's not a big deal. I think it's a big deal when you welcome someone back and you want to give that guy his justice and his due for what he delivered. Would you agree he delivered the greatest sports moment in Philadelphia Eagle history and Philadelphia sports history?
Yes. I was seriously debating beforehand whether I would ever see it in my lifetime. So yes, he did. And he didn't, he didn't do anything, in my opinion, to get fired. He took us to a Super Bowl and then went to the playoffs 2 straight years after, misses 1 playoff, and he's out. And why is he out? Well, problems with him and Howie, and also Carson Wentz didn't want him. Woogie, we call him Woogie, but he didn't want to be with Doug Pederson. And then they fired Doug Pederson. Then Carson wants out anyways. He deserves to get booed when he comes, not Doug. Doug deserves a standing ovation.
Do you agree in hindsight now that maybe it was time for both parties to part ways because things had got so sideways? Because, I mean, in hindsight, look at it now, how it's working out for both parties. Right. I'll talk to Doug about Doug here in a second. But, I mean, do you think it's like really kind of worked out in the best interest of the team? Or do you think, again, if you had to do it all over again, you'd still stick to your guns and you'd want him here? And would Jalen be better if he was here?
Well, I like Nick Sirianni. I like Nick Sirianni so far. So there's nothing against him. If I had to do it all over again, I probably still would have given Doug at least 1 more year. and then seeing, because I thought, he deserved at least one year to right the ship. But I'm not upset with Nick Sirianni at all. I love what they've done with Jalen Hurts. I love what Jalen Hurts has really done with himself. Just the effort and the work that kid puts in has been amazing to see what he's done so far.
Couple last questions for you here. Josh Sweat, are you now sold that he's an every down D lineman?
I think he's all right. I think he's serviceable. I'm not totally sold, but he's played well. I can't complain about that. I still think this team needs a major upgrade at the defensive end spot next year. I do.
Here, I'm going to say it to you. Hassan Reddick, I know he had a sack and a half, but watch this. I don't see it. He's not impressive to me. And that Washington O-line is the worst in the league, maybe. I mean, 9 sacks. I'm not dismissing what he did, but watching him cover a tight end is a joke.
I don't like him in coverage. I don't like him in coverage either. Definitely not. But I still think Reddick, I got to give Reddick this. The guy had 2 straight double-digit sacks, 2 straight years with 2 different organizations. So to me, I know it's in there. I know he can do it. Josh Sweat has to go out and show me he can do it this year. I just think they've got to they got to use Reddick better. But
why is Reddick on his 3rd team in 3 years then?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know the details, if it was contract or what. But
because he's one-dimensional. You know what? Maybe. He's a player, Philly, that doesn't have a position. Like, you can't play him at stand-up end. You can't put his hand down in the dirt. And you can't play him really at linebacker. All he is really a situational pass rusher. Well, here, that's not $15 million a year, man. And I think, like you said, I do want to see it play out some more. I'm with you. I want to see it play out some more, but I think they're struggling finding a spot for him.
Yeah, and I blame the coaches for that. I do. Like if I have a guy and he only does one thing good, I'm going to make sure he's constantly doing that one thing good then. I think you got to put him in the right positions. I think he started coming alive a little bit last week. There was a couple other times where he got really close. He forced one fumble. I think he's going to be okay as the season goes. But, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, final question for you here. Jalen Hurts, are you sold now? He's throwing for 4,500 yards.
Yes. Yeah, he's throwing.
You and Sander now are drinking the Kool-Aid now.
Listen, the guy's got over 900 yards in the first 3 games, right? He's the first quarterback in NFL history with over 900 yards and 150 plus yards running. I think he can. Look at the receivers he's got, man. These guys are good, man. A.J. Brown. How about my boy Devonta Smith, right?
I thought he got hosed out of being the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. I thought he was going to get it.
That dude's a man, a skinny man, but he's a man. Let me tell you, I love that guy.
So you think there's going to be 2,000-yard wide receivers on this team?
Yeah, I do.
First time in France. So he's going to break the seasonal record, Jalen Hurts, for passing yards, and you're going to have for the first time 2 1,000-yard receivers in one season.
Yeah, because I said going in, I thought either Devonta, A.J. Brown. I thought 2 of the 3, with including Goddard too. 2 of the 3 would have 1,000 yards. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are going to. Look at the way they're throwing. They're throwing the ball, and they're throwing downfield. Yeah, they're going to have 2,000 yards. They're going to kill it this year.
Wow, man, the Kool-Aid is everywhere.
Yay, I need some ice for that Kool-Aid. I got a big cup right here. All my Kool-Aid right there.
Look at that Kool-Aid,
Pinky up when you drink. Shows you have class.
Look at that, man. This guy's got gin and tonic going, and he's
I'm drinking, smoking stogies. I'm still celebrating Sunday. Shit.
I can't wait till Sunday, dude, to see this game, man. Hey, do you agree? Final question for you. Do you agree this is going to be the biggest test that they have? Look, I'm not dismissing what Minnesota's win. I think that's a great win, and I agree with you. I think the other wins, I think Detroit's going to win probably 6 or 7 games. Washington is going to be a lottery team. But this game, dude, they got pass rushers. Trevor Lawrence is playing some great football too.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a pretty good test on Sunday.
This is a tough game. I think this is a tough game because they play tough, man. And they're going to play the Eagles tough. I have no doubt. But this isn't the game that scares me. The game that scares me is next week, Arizona, because you'll be 4-0. You're going to Arizona where we've struggled in the past, and you have Dallas on Sunday Night Football on the horizon. That's the game that I'm worried about the letdown.
Oh man, hey, can you imagine if the Cowboys are 5-1 and the Eagles are 6-0 for that Sunday night game?
That'd be crazy, but I gotta tell you, I'm loading up. I'm betting Washington big money line this week. I think Dallas is gonna lose.
You think Dallas loses to that shitty Washington team?
I do. I think they're gonna lose this week.
Or are you hoping?
I think they're gonna lose. I don't think Dallas is that good. I really don't. I think Woogie's gonna go out there and beat Dallas.
Brother, I love you, man. Thank you so much for coming aboard, man. I appreciate it.
Definitely, man. Thank you so much. Take care.
You got it, man. Philly 500, man. I love listening to him. Fantastic. All right. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.